Hello, I'm Corey Hello, and welcome to another episode of Critimation, where I review animated TV shows and films. As always, I do not own any of these films or shows. They are properties of their respected owners. For this Halloween episode, we are looking at 3 episodes of The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which are, ironically, Halloween specials. Our first segment will be on the season 1 episode, Grim or Gregory. The episode starts with Grim watching a B movie as part of an Elvira parody. He then goes trick-or-treating with Billy and Mandy, where he mistakes a woman for the hostess of the show he was watching, who in turn mistakes him for her son Gregory. Meanwhile, Gregory is picked up by Billy and Mandy after Billy mistakes him for Grim. But eventually, the two are switched back and everything returns to normal. Out of the 3 segments that we're going to go over today, I consider this the weakest out of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy Halloween specials, partially because it's only 7 minutes in contrast to an 11-minute or longer episode. Therefore, it is not really worth the watch. And all I can say to that is,
Bah, humbug.
our next segment is on the Billy and Mandy special, Billy and Mandy's Jacked Up Halloween. The special opens up with Billy watching what appears to be a horror film when it's actually a chainsaw commercial. Mandy then arrives dressed as Hamlet with Grim as the skull, and reminding Billy that it's Halloween, who goes as the Grim Reaper, using Grim's scythe to complete the costume. The group then stop at Erwin's house, who is dressed up as Sleeping Beauty. Unimpressed, Mandy tells Erwin to change costumes before they leave. After tricking a stingy woman out of her candy, Billy asks why people trick on Halloween. Grim explains it's because of a man named Jack who lived long ago when Ennsville was just a village. Because he never knew when to stop pranking, the village decided to teach him a lesson by sending a prank gift in his name to the Queen. And because she had no sense of humor, the Queen responds by sending a knight over to kill Jack. But when Grim comes to collect Jack and take him to the underworld, he gets tricked out of his scythe. Jack only agrees to return it if he is given immortal life. That way he can pull pranks for eternity. But Grim did not like being tricked. So, in order to keep Jack from showing his face in town again, he cut his head off. After which, Jack got a pumpkin for a new head, and every Halloween night, he leaves his house untouched by time to pull pranks on the citizens of Ennsville. After Grim's story, the group then split up to cover more ground. And by sheer dumb luck, Billy happens upon Jack's house, who then tricks him out of the scythe to use as a portal to the underworld, summoning spirits who inhabit the bodies of pumpkins. After wrecking half of Ennsville, Jack kidnaps Grim in order to get revenge by removing his head with his own scythe, which will stay off despite the fact that it's normally removable. After warning Mandy, Billy makes a distraction while she prepares a series of pranks. However, they get caught, but at that exact moment, Owen appears in a night costume and sets off the pranks. This causes the pumpkins to laugh themselves to death. After Grim gets his scythe back, he sends Jack to the underworld, ending the special. Growing up with this special, it was a favorite of mine. And I recently saw an interview with the creator Maxwell Adams, who stated some interesting things when he was interviewed by the Cartoon Chronicle. I will include a link in the description below. The inspiration for this special actually came from It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, as Maxwell had a very unique perspective on what the Great Pumpkin was like. That, along with the fact that most Halloween specials don't really focus on jack-o'-lanterns in particular, set the stage for the storyline and villain of this special. Jack in particular had an interesting evolution, starting with the fact that they had to fight in order to get his head chopped off as it was essential to the story. But the main thing that really interested me was the choice of who voiced him. Originally, Gary Oldman was supposed to play the character due to his involvement with horror films, such as Bram Stoker's Dracula, where he played the title character. However, due to his involvement with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Gary was unavailable, so they used Wayne Knight instead, which personally I think was a good fit considering the amount of laughing that Jack had to do in the film, which of course Wayne is known for doing in his films as well. Overall, I would recommend this special to anyone who's a fan of the early 2000s Halloween specials. For its uniqueness in using a pumpkin as a villain rather than the typical monster of the week formula that we usually associate with Halloween. The last segment will be the rarely seen special, Underfist. After an amazing intro by Grimm that basically sums up the main characters of the special, which includes Erwin, which according to the intro is half mummy and half vampire. The story kicks off with Billy, Mandy, and Erwin trick-or-treating, and after stopping by Dracula's place, they go their separate ways. And after Erwin has brief encounters with the monster hunter Hoss Elgato, former Eva General Scar, and the reoccurring monsters Fred Fredburger and Jeff the Spider, one of Erwin's classmates, Mindy, asks him for help, which involves him going to a house for her to get some candy. But after touching the doorbell, it opens a portal to the underworld and releases an army of candy monsters led by the marshmallow bunny Bun Bun. And while Erwin and the others fight the candy monsters, Bun Bun kidnaps Mindy and takes her to the underworld. Hoss and Erwin then plan to go through the portal to save her, along with the president who has also been kidnapped. But once they arrive in the underworld, they are ambushed by Bun Bun and Mindy, who is now a witch who had been working for him this whole time. It is revealed that due to Erwin's mummy/vampire powers that Mindy became a witch, and Hoss starts to dislike him due to his views on monsters. And just as Hoss is about to be dipped in hot cocoa as a means to prevent them from invading the Earth with mutant candy monsters created by Mindy, Owen's monster powers begin to fully manifest, turning him into a mumpire, as the production notes call it. After he rescues Hoss and the president, who happens to be Mandy, the others arrive in Hoss's fist-shaped vehicle and they escape the underworld. After meeting at Mandy's place, the group are tasked to replace the trick-or-treaters who have been driven off by the candy monsters. But due to personal issues, the group break apart soon after they start the mission. Meanwhile, Mindy in disguise uses the opportunity to give away caramel apples with portal gems inside of them. After Owen finds out, he, Jeff, and Fred go find Hoss, who is fighting the candy monsters coming from the portals. And to make matters worse, Mindy uses her magic to combine the army into creating a giant candy monster that attacks Hoss. After Owen uses his powers to disarm the candy monster, Haas uses his blaster to finish him off. The group then reconcile with each other, including Mindy, who reforms. Just then, Bun Bun appears and reveals that he was actually the one behind making Mindy a witch, and even recruited Scar, who had double-crossed the group. But just as Bun Bun is about to duck everyone into hot cocoa, Scar reveals to be a double agent and double-crosses Bun Bun, melting him in the cocoa. And after Underfist is awarded for defeating the candy monsters, a new threat emerges, setting the stage for a potential sequel. An interesting thing about this special is that it was supposed to lead to a spin-off series. But in 2008, Cartoon Network decided to go forward with making live-action programming, thereby killing chances of such a project being made. And while I do find the storyline somewhat overrun with subplots, I do like the themes of acceptance of others and embracing who you are, as we saw with Haas accepting Owen for being a monster and Owen coming to terms with his heritage. I would recommend this to fans of pilots that never take off, as well as those who are general Billy and Mandy fans. And before I close out this episode, I have a special announcement to make. I'm currently hosting a reanimation project based on Underfist, and while the first year of this collab has gone well, we are still looking for animators to work with. If you're interested, the link to details and the Discord page are in the description below. Thanks for tuning in to Critimation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And follow me on Blue Sky. I'm open to suggestions, and I will see you next time.